Hello. Our theme tunes go slower each week, I think. It's
It's,
quite amusing. Welcome.
your theme tune is like how I feel, Daryl.
Yeah, very, very
Slow and
slow.
lethargic.
Yeah. Welcome, everybody. Thanks for tuning in to the Mars Cricketer promo for the charity match that's happening on the 2nd of May, of course, at that wonderful ground of Oxford Downs Cricket Club. There we go. Got in early on the Oxford Downs front tonight. So as you can see, guys, scrolling down the bottom is our YouTube channel. We've had 5 new subscribers within the last week, actually. So it is moving in the right direction. We'd like it to move in a greater direction, a lot more freer, if we could have more people subscribing, liking, and hitting that subscription button. That's the main thing, and notifications as well. You'll never miss a trick of the Mars Cricketer. So we're here tonight to not only promote the charity game, one or two other things we need to let you know about. So I came across today, strangely enough, on my Facebook memories, 2 years ago today, the first promo of the Mars Cricketer. Happy birthday to the promo. That's what we can say. Really interesting because normally I'm talking a lot of rubbish, and that night I particularly talked a lot of rubbish, saying that we would have a little bit of fun during lockdown and we would possibly interview local cricketers, national cricketers, and maybe international cricketers. Little did I know, because that was very tongue in cheek, that we would actually get international cricketers and really 2 nights of as well. I mean, unbelievable scenes really on the Mars Cricketer front. Never thought we would get anywhere near to that proportion. So my little spiel 2 years ago tonight actually wasn't far off the mark, and we have certainly had a ball, and we've certainly had a bit of fun along the way. And I've been as silly as I ever have been as a human being. So
Correct.
I think long may that continue for me, probably not for others, but I'm still having a lot of fun with it. That's for sure. It's just unbelievable that we're actually going to be playing our 3rd charity match in the 2 years that this started. It's phenomenal, really, and the amount of people that have contributed, both playing, appearing on the show, appearing on the promos, and obviously contributing to loads of other things, which is brilliant. There will be some information about the game and a little bit more what's happening on the night, and a big announcement for a Mars Cricketer coming up next week. So we are having a Mars Cricketer next week, which you'll be silly to miss. So plenty coming up. We've obviously got our very special guest who's in the green room. Can't wait, because it's way past his bedtime, and that is the legend, of course, that is George Hiley. He'll be with us shortly. K-Dog, I understand you might have been doing some coaching course today. Is that right?
Yes, I've been trying. I've now realised how hard it is to be on your feet for 8.5 hours. 46 years old. I feel 146 years old this evening. So yes, it's been a long and tiring day, but yeah, I think hopefully it will become a rewarding day as well. And we've got 2 more days to go. They're compressing this course into 3 days. It's normally 4 days, 4 consecutive weekends, but with venues, it's being compressed into 3 days. I spent all day with the legend that is Rupert Evans, the legend that is Paul White, Ed Wilson. I won't call him a legend because I don't know him well enough, but he appears to be a bit of a legend to me. And even Matt Barnes and Nick Pinnell turned up just to check that I was there, and they couldn't believe that I was actually there. So yeah, it was a really good day actually, at a really good venue, the Swan School, a brand new school in the middle of Oxford. Lovely place, and a fantastic sports hall. They've done really well. It's a great venue, and hopefully over time, Oxfordshire cricketers and other youngsters will get a chance to practice there. I was really impressed with the facilities, and yes, and I'm going to be positive. It was actually Richard Giles is watching. Yes, Richard, it was quite enjoyable. I sent him a couple of messages this week saying, I don't want to do this. I'm too old. I'm too knackered to do this at my age. And then he didn't remind me, but my dad reminded me, you're twice my age, Woodsy, and you're still doing it. So, yeah it was all right. It was all right.
I was at a rather chilly Abingdon Vale when the sun went in this afternoon, coaching a coach day for the county under 11s. And I have to be honest, there was some real talent on show. I was very, very impressed. At one point, we had a 6-a-side game and 3 people backed up a ball being thrown in from the boundary. So I thought that was pretty special, actually, for under 11 cricket, especially with the constraints that they had. So fair play to the under 11s today. A most enjoyable afternoon at a chilly Abingdon Vale, I have to say.
And just to prove we don't just throw this together, Woodsy.
Oh, yes, we do.
Yeah, we do. Speaking of unbelievable talent, I think, without further ado, there's a young man that will be sitting backstage, who I'm sure that you'd like to introduce shortly. Come back to me before the end, because we also have an announcement about another auction stroke raffle prize, which will be courtesy of a great supporter. We'll give that detail later. But I'll hand to you for the big introduction of who this is all about this evening. So I'll pass back to you, Woodsy.
Yeah, absolutely. Totally proud and thrilled to have this young man on our promo tonight, because he's passed his Foundation 1 course, and I think he's done an amazing amount of work, and it's a huge achievement. So I'm happy to introduce to you. Sounds like the Muppets. Sounds like the Muppets, that didn't it? But well,
that's you and me.
On the screen, so that's probably about right. But here, without further ado, of course, is the legend that is George Hiley. Hello, George.
Hey, here he is.
Hello.
Hi, George.
How you doing, George?
I'm all right. Thank you. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. Better than Kieran, I think, at the moment.
I'm very well as well. I'm just tired. Old.
George, I was going to ask you, how are you doing generally after we've come out of this lockdown situation? How's things for you at the moment?
Good, thank you.
Plenty of cricket?
Yeah. Lots of cricket.
Good.
Are you starting to feel now that the weather's warming up, George, and the sun's shining? I know Daryl said it was a bit cold today, but are you starting to get that bug for cricket again, like we all are, as we always do in April?
Yeah. Play all year.
Play all year, absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. Actually, with the table cricket that you're coaching as well, George, you can play that all year because it's indoors. So you've got an advantage over some of us, haven't you, actually, in that respect?
Yeah, I was going to ask George, actually. Before George answers this. George, at some stage this year, I would love you to introduce me and coach me at table cricket. Is that something you could do for me?
Yes.
Oh, and you, Darren. I think we should both do that and maybe record it and pop it on our channel, because I've seen table cricket, but I've never played it. And I think you and me, if I could find something that I'm better than you at, Daryl, that would be good for a start. So is that a date then, George?
It's unlikely, K-Dog, but yeah.
We'll put a date in the diary, George. I'd love to have a crack at that with Woodsy.
We'll sort that. We'll sort that, George. That'll be absolutely brilliant. Look, I gave you a really good introduction there because I know you've passed recently your Foundation 1 coaching course, and we're really proud and happy that you've done that, because I think it's a huge achievement. What's it been like for you starting your coaching journey?
It's quite hard.
What have you found difficult, George?
Doing the course.
Because that was a long course, wasn't it?
2 days.
But you really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Worked hard.
Yeah. Did the course give you? I mean, you've always been a really confident outgoing young man, George, but this is for my benefit, really. Did the course give you sort of more confidence that you were capable of doing it and actually delivering and helping sort of develop other young cricketers?
It sounds really good.
Brilliant.
Definitely.
Complete inspiration to me, George. To be honest with you, knowing that you worked so hard to get that, when we were told that you and Damon, of course, got your foundation course, we were so proud, and it's a massive inspiration because it is a real. There it is. I'm looking forward to getting another one of those as well. But it is a really tough thing to go through. You have to put yourself through a lot over a couple of days, don't you? And to do that, and to have the willpower to do it, really, it's a tough thing to do, isn't it?
Yeah. Not at home.
Brilliant.
Not still at home.
George, we spoke a little bit before coming on air, and the things that you think you've learned since you became a coach was quite interesting to me. Can you share that with our viewers?
I think more slowly. So people understand.
It's being.
Yeah, that's.
Go on, Craig. Sorry.
No, I was going to say that's a really important thing, George, isn't it? To make sure that beginners, young cricketers, really understand the game. And I was going to ask, I don't know if Darryl was going to ask this later because I was a little bit late on parade because I was still in bed. Have you used your coaching to coach our little superhero Crew? Have you seen much of Crew lately?
Yeah.
Yeah.
On Wednesday.
On Wednesday? Oh, really recently then, just before Easter. I'm hoping, Darryl, that Crew will be at the game on Monday the 2nd. Fingers crossed. We'll have to get a message across to his mum. He's going to be there, is he? Fantastic.
Yes. He's brilliant.
I think he should play, Darryl. He'd be better than me, wouldn't he?
That's very true. George, you just said he's brilliant. Has he actually improved as a cricketer since you've been coaching him?
Yeah.
Brilliant. I love that. That's superb. We shall see that on the 2nd of May then.
I can't wait for that.
You might see me and my team there.
That'll be great. Is it going to be the same people as last year, George, with you? Or is there some newbies as well? Some new players?
New ones.
Oh, brilliant. 2 new ones.
New ones as well.
New ones as well.
Oh, fantastic. I'm really looking forward to that. And for the viewers' sake, 12:15 is when that starts with Dick Giles and George Hiley kicking off our special day, which is a great start to the day. I think it's probably my favourite part of the day, to be honest.
My favourite? It's your favourite?
This is my favourite, yeah.
It's the highlight of the day, isn't it, Darryl?
Scarecrow. And go wait to see what Haydock's going to be dressed up as.
I might dress as a cricketer. What do you reckon? I haven't got anything actually. What do you want me to dress? What do you want me to dress as, George? Because I haven't got anything. You tell me what you have a think. Tell me what you want me to dress as, and I'll see what I can do.
Scooby-Doo.
Scooby-Doo again. I'll have to ask Darryl to assist me with that. I was thinking Little Bo Peep, because you're a scarecrow. I was thinking maybe I could be Little Bo Peep, but no, we'll try Scooby again. We could try that, couldn't we? I'll have to bow down to Darryl though to try and get me that kit, but we'll see what happens.
I've got one of those now, so you're more than welcome to borrow that. Actually, George, have you ever dressed up in fancy dress? That's a good question.
Yes.
Not as a scarecrow.
Pirate.
Pirate.
Ah, good
man. I would like to see that, George. I'm not putting, ideas in your head, but if you turned up as a pirate coach on the 2nd of May, that would be quite entertaining, I have to say.
Definitely. Definitely.
You don't have to, George. You don't have to by any stretch of imagination. So don't worry. George, I'm going to ask you, because we had a little chat again before coming live. Who do you think should be the new England captain, or who would you like to be the new England captain? And have you put your cap in the ring for it?
I have. It's going to be Ben Stokes.
Ben Stokes. And do you think he wants to do it? No.
No.
Perhaps you should send him a message, George, saying you'd like him to do it. You never know. You never know.
George, I came back from the course this evening and I noticed that at random somebody on Twitter had tagged me in. The question was from Wisdom. Can you name a famous, well-known cricketer that has yet to represent England? Somebody tagged me in, Daryl. So I thought that was quite good.
You definitely have represented England, have you? May have done it tiddlywinks, possibly. I don't know. No. Okay. How rude of me. Abusing my co-presenter. Terrible. I never do that, do I? Not
never. No, you're very respectful of me.
Yeah, very.
He bullies me, George, doesn't he? He's always bullying me. Go on, back me up here, George.
George, that was the right answer. That was great.
He's probably sitting there thinking he deserves it. He deserves it.
George, the last thing I'm going to ask you, when's your next bit of coaching and what does that involve?
Tomorrow.
Who are you coaching tomorrow, George? Is it your disability team or have you got some others, some new players? Where's that being held tomorrow?
At the Eye Centre.
Ah, okay.
So table cricket in the morning and Whitney Harvin this afternoon.
Ah. Did you say Whitney?
Yeah.
Shame I'm going to be in Oxford, or else I could have come and had a watch. But I'll come home tomorrow and go to sleep probably. But no, good luck tomorrow, George. You don't need it. You'll smash it as you always do.
Thank you.
No, brilliant. I'd love to be coached by George, wouldn't you, Daryl?
No, it'd be so much fun. So much fun.
It would.
I'd love it. Absolutely.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. I tell you what, George, because actually, if you're in Whitney and we can use that facility for a little bit longer, we may be able to come along when Kieran's not working. We may be able to come along and do that and film it. So there is an opportunity there if the venue is available and we can use it. So
do not fall asleep, K-Dog.
What was that? Sorry?
Don't fall asleep.
No, I won't fall asleep. I'm very alert. I'm wide awake. that told me, didn't it?
It did. That was a proper coach, actually, as well. Don't fall asleep, absolutely. George, for the moment, stay with us because we've got lots of information about the charity match. But for now, thank you ever so much for joining us and sharing some of your experiences with us and just being with us. It's just been brilliant to see you.
Thank you.
Thank you, George.
So that's good. We just actually, Dick Giles just said, look, there's no problems. It's a good shout. We may be able to organise that. So I'll look forward to that because that will be really exciting. That'll be top notch. Looking forward to that already.
Good to see Dick Giles is watching on YouTube as well. So that's good. And not on Facebook. So
yes.
I'm quite excited by the 5 new subscribers. I'm wondering whether that's because of our supporters Al Ryan and Galia Dimitrova, whether they've subscribed. I think they already have subscribed actually, but what a great gesture that was, again having us on their radio show. Turns the listeners away when we come on, doesn't it?
It goes down quite a lot, the listening figures, I should say, but Al Ryan and Galia have been absolute legends really and have supported us pretty much all the way, haven't they? Actually, over time, Galia is actually going to be there on the Monday again. So hopefully that will be reported back by BBC Radio Oxford on the Tuesday. So that will be nice to see Galia there as well. So,
do you know any other good BBC Radio Oxford people at all, or not? I don't.
Al Ryan, Jerome Sale. Henry Moran of old. No, I can't think of anybody else.
No, not can I. No.
Is there anybody else? Wes Spearman? No. Colin Ride?
Oh, he was on Radio Oxford this week, actually. Yeah, he was.
Yeah,
he covered. He was at North Lee yesterday in the big bank holiday local derby against Didcot Town, and yeah, it was good to hear his dulcet tones coming across the airwaves.
Brilliant. Some news then on our charity game, 2nd of May. Obviously, I'd be silly not to put it up, wouldn't I? At Oxford Downs Cricket Club. There we go again. We have got Amor Nachos van is back. So we've got the food van is back by
They are good.
That is good. David Wise, a previous Mars cricketer and a previous charity player, has now got a Mr. Whippy machine. So he's come along to be our ice cream man. It is white coat. So Mr. Whippy Wise, or Mr. Wise Whippy, I don't know which way you want to call it, will be there with his ice creams on the Monday.
I'm going to be buying George an ice cream. I'll get my wallet out, George, just for you, and I'll buy you an ice cream.
Blimey.
Not for you, Woodsy.
No. That is a treat, George. I can tell if K-Dog's getting his wallet out for an ice cream for you. So that's an occasion I want to see at a charity match, that's for sure. First year, we will have teas for players, and players will be able to use the changing rooms in showers. First time for this game.
It's amazing, isn't it? Simple things that we've always taken for granted.
Absolutely.
And they're all coming back. It's so good. It really is.
We should mention the auction to play either for the Tavs or for the Mars Cricketers is still available. We should say that probably a certain young man who played last year because he was the highest bidder is also the highest bidder this year so far. So please get him in.
Get him in. Please get him in, because he spared my blushes with that brilliant bit of fielding when I bowled this shocking long hop outside off stump. It was smashed to him at some rate of knots, and he got everything behind it. And he was my hero that day. That was before my slight accident with the great dive and the broken ribs. When I fell over. I'm not going to break ribs this year, George. I'm not going to dive stupidly like I'm 21. I'm going to be a bit more circumspect, a bit more sensible.
There's going to be a raffle stroke auction again. We already have a Sussex signed shirt and 4 tickets for a game at Sussex in Hove, which is something we've not had before, actually. So that's new to our charity raffle or auction. Depending if we get Charlie Ross there, it will definitely be an auction, and that might go for quite a bit of money.
That'll go for a lot if Charlie's there.
He was brilliant last year, wasn't he? He was so good. One of my favourite antique experts, I have to say.
One of your favourites?
One of my favourites. He's my favourites tonight. It's all about my favourites. It's my wife's favourite as well. But there we go. So there's lots of things there that are happening that are quite exciting. I'm going to leave Kieran to say a great prize in a moment. But I'm really pleased with how that's coming along. Now, obviously, we've ticketed this before. Now, we're not really ticketing it this year, but we do need to know the numbers for catering and car park. Car parking is a bit of an issue, and it is a bit of a headache for us at the ground because we don't have enough space, and we haven't got the Mulberry School this year. So at the moment, we are looking at other alternatives, and we should know by next week when we come live, both for a promo and for a Mars Cricketer, which I'll explain a little bit more in a moment. That's looking rather good. It's shaping up, as they say, K-Dog, and you've got news of another fantastic prize.
Well, potentially 2 prizes. Before that, I can give you the K-Dog weather forecast. 2 weeks out, I know, but I got the snow right the other day, even though you claimed it didn't snow. At the moment, it looks as though the lead up, at least, to the 2nd of May, and this is quite important in terms of car parking, potentially, at the moment, the lead up looks all right. It looks like it's going to be pretty dry. Hopefully, it'll be dry on the day. My good friend Gavin Partridge, who runs his own weather channel, he's actually been a little bit under the weather recently. I just wanted to mention this because he was a big supporter of ours. He's got a really successful weather channel, which I've watched for 10 years.
That's quite funny what you said there, K-Dog. He's under the weather. Sorry, it just made me chuckle.
Yes, I didn't even think of that, but he won't mind me saying that. I mean, he's had this channel for, I think, since 2010. He's got something like 15,000 subscribers, and we would dream to have anywhere near that. He's a really good guy. But he's been suffering from cancer, unfortunately, and he's currently doing some really inspirational blog. I'd love to get him on one of our shows at some point when he's a bit better. He's been doing some really inspirational blogs on his fight with cancer. He's had a cancer of the mouth. He had a successful operation just a couple of weeks ago. He's all good. He's coming back. He talks with a bit of a lisp at the moment, which he's working on, doing some exercises, but I know occasionally Gavin does watch this, and when we were at the height of the second lockdown, and he shared our channel, which he didn't have to do. It's a completely different channel to this, really, but he shared our channel, and I know that got us a fair few subscribers. So I just wanted to say, actually, on record, Gavin, get well soon. Anybody that doesn't know who he is, just do a search in YouTube for Gavin Partridge, not Alan Partridge, Gavin Partridge. And he's got two channels. He's got his own personal one, which is where you see the cancer blogs that he's doing, which are hugely inspirational. And he's got another channel, which is his weather video channel. So do a search, because he's actually quite accurate. He's more accurate than me, Daryl, put it that way. He actually gets it right more often than he doesn't. So
I'm definitely going to ask him. Gavin, get well soon. I hope everything's going well. And fantastic that things are moving in the right direction for you. So good luck with that. For sure.
Absolutely. So on to this prize. It's actually, I think, two prizes. It's one of our long-time supporters. I felt really sorry for him. I think it was last year. It may have been the first year, actually, when he provided some cracking prizes and then got run out for a duck without facing a ball. But I bet George, I bet Daryl hasn't got the graphic ready, but Graham Woodward from Grape Mines in Summer. Oh, he has got the graphic ready. George, give him a round of applause. That's impressive. So Graham Woodward from Grape Mines in Summertown in Oxford, he has been a fantastic supporter, and he is providing another couple of prizes for the third edition of our charity game. The prizes he's going to provide, Daryl, so you said one, it's actually going to be two. He's going to provide another case of fine wines from around the world, probably half a dozen fine wines. And this is a brilliant prize, and I know that it's just recently been used from last year. He's going to provide another wine tasting session, I think for 10. It was for 10 last year. We saw some pictures of the wine tasting session the other day, and I know that those that successfully bid for that had a great day. So, Graham, superlatives can't go far enough. Thank you so much. Again, we're so grateful for your support. We will get you in the side if you're not injured. I think it was the first year, because last year he was injured, wasn't he? Yeah. So it was the first year he got run out. Hopefully, Graham, you're fit and well and you can play in the game. It would be great to see you in the game and not being run out without facing a ball. I think that was did Ethan run him out? Ethan ran him out. Ethan ran him out, but we'll forgive Ethan because he did hit that 6 into the road to pretty much win us the game, didn't he? So so that's a massive thank you. I don't know, Daryl, whether you've got any sneaky names that are going to be in our side. I guess you might be asking our very first Marsh cricketer to play in the game again, but if he plays, he's got to get rid of that blonde hair.
I believe there is a county T20 game that day.
Oh, so this takes precedence, surely.
Absolutely. It'd be rude not to play for us. But I did ask about his future stepdad actually to play, but he said his knees are gone. So the ex-Surrey and England left armour, Paul Taylor, won't be playing.
Well, that sounds like a fairly, that's quite a good qualification. Bunch of old crocs, isn't it? That's kind of what we are.
it wouldn't be a problem, really, to be fair.
Maybe Dick Giles can play. How about that? Has he
Yeah.
played? He can play
Yeah,
again.
he played in the first one.
He did.
First one. I know who's not going to play because I've had replies. Alan Lamb's not 100% fit, so he can't be there. Fran Wilson is playing, as is Fee Morris, so they won't be there. And Rob Andrew obviously has kindly donated those auction prizes, but he also cannot be there for Sussex duties. So we know who's not going to be there. We do know Toby Tarrant will be there with his dad, Chris, who wants to be a millionaire. Yeah, he'll be there. So that'll be good. And I'm sure Messrs Gower and Gatting will be there. It's an interesting one because we are the first fixture in the TAV's calendar. So it's a prestigious event for both parties, really. So I'm hoping the likes of Hoggy will continue his battle with the Woodsy.
He's probably got a voodoo doll that looks something like you, and he's probably sticking pins in it as we speak.
He might get the better of me this year. Who knows? He might
Every
just get
chance.
the better of me this year.
Just 1 or 2 miles an hour quicker this year.
He might be. They might be heading for my head. I might have to wear a helmet. Yeah, it's been difficult because I think, coming out of lockdown, people are going back to their normal jobs, normal routines, and getting people along on a May bank holiday is quite difficult. I'm still hoping that we will have some names there for sure. So it's whoever comes along, it will be a great game, and I'm sure by next week we'll have a few more sort of surprises or hints to it. So before I sort of go on about next week, Kieran, do you want to say anything else?
Do you know what? I actually am going to let you carry on. I've spoken a lot today, which is very unusual for me, isn't it, George? I don't talk very much normally, so no, I'm going to hand back over to you for that. I'm looking forward to seeing who might be playing for us. I guess next week's Masked Cricketer, who was going to be a brilliant one, which I know you're going to talk about in a second. I guess he could be in our side, and he would be. He's not going to be in our side. Oh no. Oh dear, that's a shame. He would have been quite good. Yeah, but I'll hand over to you to talk about the Masked Cricketer next week.
He or she could have been good. So
oh yes, sorry, he or she.
Don't give it away too much, Gaynor. Yes, next Monday night, going back to a Monday night because that seems to be the night that there's not too much cricket on and football, etc. So next Monday night, the 25th of April. We're going to go quite late. I think we'll probably do 8:30 again for obvious reasons, because that'll get everybody in and hopefully watching for an hour or so. I think it's going to be a really insightful interview. Really looking forward to it, actually. And I think you'd be silly not to join us for obviously your first chance for a long time to #AskTheMask. Got that in, Gay Dog, for a change. Got to get those in. And you'll see next week, as normal, we don't just throw this program together.
Yes, we definitely do. Yeah.
George, brilliant.
That just proves that we don't throw it together, because George was ready with that. He was like a coiled spring waiting to strike there, wasn't he?
I'll tell you what, we didn't do that in rehearsal.
No. Rehearsal? Did I miss rehearsal? Have we ever rehearsed anything?
That was brilliant. I love that. That's my favourite part of any promo we've done, actually. Somebody has taken on our catchphrase and actually delivered it much better than we did.
Unbelievable. Brilliant.
That is superb. So I am going to finish. George, you're going to have the final word tonight, okay? So we'll come to you in a moment. But we've gone on for 35 minutes tonight. Thanks to K-Dog for joining us after a long day on a coaching course. Thanks, of course, the legend that is George Hiley. And to you for watching. And if you're watching this back on YouTube, Facebook, or of course Twitter that we now come on. I hope you've enjoyed the last half an hour of us rabbling on about nothing, as we normally do. But it's been good fun to have George there with us. So until next week, where the Masked Cricketer returns on Monday night at 8:30, George, over to you.
Thanks very much for having me. Good night.
End it there. Good night, George. Good night, everyone.